Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a good day here. I've got this older Craftsman lawn tractor. This is a model that I hardly ever see here. This one here is made by Murray. Looks different, but it's built like a tank, guys. Check out the rear drive shaft on this. It actually has a U-joint right there. This is just your homeowner tractor here, lawn tractor, but look at it. Look at how tough this machine is built. What's going on with this machine is when I go to start it, it just clicks. I've put in a new battery, and this is all I'm getting. I mean, if you play with this for 15 minutes, it might go. So what I think's happening is the solenoid is bad. Now on this one, it's in a really weird place. It's right here. There's a plate missing here, I guess. And there's your solenoid. The two positive battery cables are hooked up onto it, and there is one small wire coming from it. And before I replace the solenoid, I'm going to show you the Momentary switch that I use. It's an automotive switch. It's handy. It saves you from putting a screwdriver or something between the two positive battery cables on the solenoid. So if you grab a piece of metal, screwdriver or something like that, and you touch these two poles here together, it will turn over. But with this Momentary switch here, all I do is I hook up these two terminals here right on the solenoid. And once they're hooked up on the solenoid like that on each pole, I've got the switch in my hands here. All I got to do is turn on the key start switch, pull the choke, and I can start the machine just like that. So I'm pretty confident it will be the solenoid. I'm going to get one out of my parts bins and install it. This is the solenoid I'll be using from Oregon here, and there is a link in the video description as well to where you can buy this online. So when I pull it out, it's the one with one terminal for the small wire and the two poles here for the two cables. Now when you get these solenoids, a little bag of hardware will come with it. And what you want to do is put the tab here on the post. The reason they do it like this is because some machines, you actually just put a connector right over the threads. But most of them do require the small tab. And with a 3/8 wrench, I'll just tighten it up here. And then you have these parts left. Now it is advisable to disconnect at least one cable from the battery. So what I'll do is remove the cables from the solenoid here. And I'm using a 7/16 socket for this. And by having the battery disconnected, you don't have to worry about shorting out these cables on the machine. And there was a small wire here with an eyelet on the far post, so I'll leave that there. I'm just going to air blow this out first. Now what I need to do is remove the bolts on each side of the solenoid, and I need a 3/8 socket for that. So when you look at both solenoids here, you're going to notice subtle differences. This one here, the Oregon one, is a universal solenoid, so it's got an extra bracket at the back. Today I'll be using the bracket at the bottom here, and that's how it's going to go on there. And all the holes are universal, and they do match up. I'll start by reconnecting this wire right here. Now one of the bolts has a small black wire hooked into it. And on the other side, the other bolt does not have any wires on it. It just bolts the solenoid to the machine. There is a lot of vibration on these machines. And I gotta make sure this is hooked up again over here. And now the battery cable. Now I'll get the battery cable on the other side on too. I didn't want the wire to twist around with the nut, so I'm kind of holding it. All is good. Check all your wires. Okay guys, let's see if my diagnosis was right. You know what? I forgot to rehook the battery. So forgetting to hook up batteries and putting in spark plugs are the two common mistakes that I make when I work on stuff. Let me know if that happens to you too. Okay, let's try this out. Perfect. Okay, so in today's video, you can see that if you hear clicking from the solenoid, it could be defective. Also, other symptoms that you will get that will indicate that a solenoid is bad is you will get nothing at all, not even a click sometimes. Always make sure your battery's good. The batteries on these lawn tractors do not last long, maybe a couple years, and you might be wondering why it's not going when it's just the battery. Second most common thing is the solenoid. Also, there is a small fuse sometimes in between the solenoid and the battery. This one's right here. It's just a terminal fuse. You just pull it out. There's two tabs on it. Check to make sure it's not burnt if you're not getting any juice at all to your starter. And a solenoid sometimes might work intermittently, so you might be able to start your machine today. You might wiggle the key quite a bit and it'll go, and some other times it won't. For a $20 part, guys, it's not a big investment to make to eliminate the doubt that that's your problem. And don't forget, if you're really stuck and you know your solenoid's bad, you can turn the key on and then connect these two terminals here together, the two cables, like I did earlier in the video with that Momentary switch, and you'll be able to start your machine until you get a new solenoid. So thanks again for watching, guys. I hope this video has helped you to diagnose solenoid problems. If you replace the solenoid, you have a good battery, and you've checked the fuse, and your engine still won't crank, you might want to check your starter. Maybe the starter's bad. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Have a great day.